Can you see my screen, Shiva?
Yes, Akash, I can able to see.
Okay. So, Shiva, today will be starting with these topics. So, first one is the calendar command, then the permissions of the files in the folders we'll see. Then today we'll see the operators also. So, what are arithmetic operation and their uses with expr command. Okay.
Okay.
Then we'll see the Boolean, then the relation operators. There are more other operators also. One is file operator and string operator. So those two things I'll cover in tomorrow's session. Today I'll try to cover these 5 topics.
Sure.
Okay. Just a second. Can you see the terminal?
Yes, I can able to see. Screen broadcast screen.
Yeah. Okay. So see, the first is the calendar command. So calendar is basically to get the calendar. Okay. So when you give like CAL, that is the short form of the calendar. When you press enter, you'll get the calendar. Okay.
Okay.
And suppose if you want to see the last year's calendar, so you need to give the year, you need to mention the year after the CL command. So it would be like, I suppose if I want to see 2021 calendar, this is the calendar. When you press enter, you'll get the calendar. Okay.
Okay.
And suppose if you want to see the last year's calendar, so you need to give the year, you need to mention the year after the CL command. So it would be like, I suppose if I want to see 2021 calendar, this is the calendar.
Okay.
Now I want to check like March calendar only for the specific month I want to check. So for that we have this option -m. Then -m stands for the month. Then after that you need to give the values from 1 to 12. 1 stands for January and 12 stands for December. So if I give 3, it stands for March. So this is March calendar for 2022. Similarly, you can see the previous ones also. January, and if you change the year, so you'll get for that particular year calendar. Okay, so now we'll jump to the permission section. Let me create some files and folders. I'm under which directory? I'm under home user directory. I need to create one folder under this day 3. Let's create other folder also. Okay, dir Unix. Now I'm navigating to day 3 folder. Here I'll create some file using cat command. I'll put some variables here. Found smart keyboard. Shiva, it's always better to create some meaningful data. Okay, So if you see in from my previous classes as well, so what I'll do is I'll take some columns like starts from 1, 2 or some number. Then after that I'll put some values there.
Okay.
Okay. Let's shift this to Mumbai. iPhone. Mouse keyboard I don't want. Then okay. Okay. Now let me save this data. So for that I need to press. What would be the key to save this file?
Control D.
Control D. Correct. So now if I want to see the data, here test file underscore. This is the data. Okay. Now I am under which directory? I am under day3 directory. Okay. Now let's go back one step. So now I am under user directory. Now let's see the contents of this. So if you see here, we have 3 files under under user directory, right? The first one is the regular file, and other two are the directory ones. How we know this is the directory or this is the file? From the
So
first
there will,
letter.
yeah.
Absolutely.
It
If
is
it is D
directly, yes.
and if it is empty, then it's a regular file. Now, if you see here, we have D, then after that we have some characters, RWX, then again R, then hyphen X, then R, again hyphen, again X. So this is the permissions which is given to this directory, A3. And if you see here, D, RWX, R hyphen X, R hyphen X. So this R is repeated 3 times, whereas X is repeated 2 times. Then W is the only ones. Uh, uh, so what is the meaning of this? Like 3 times, why we have given 3 times? So first one stands for this RWX stands for user, owner, user, and the last one would be your group. So the permissions, if you see in the ls, when we use this long listing command, then the output would be like, looks like this. It's in small. This one, RWX, RWX. So you see here, we have like 3 types of conditions given to a file. The first one, first row, RW, then hyphen. Let me go to day3 folder and I'll show you what are the permissions we have for Unix and this file. Clear the screen first. So we have, this is a regular file which I have created. So here if you see, we have RW permissions. It means owner can read and write this file, whereas user can only read this file and the group can only read this file. Now, if I want to change the permissions, so how to change it? Suppose, for example, I am the owner of this file, right? So if I share this file with you, and if I ask you to delete this, the third row, let me put hyphen n also to get the numbers. I want you to delete this third row, okay? And I have shared this file with you, but I have given only R permission to you. But write permission is not given to you. So in that case, what will happen? You can only see this file. You can view this file. You can see what are the contents inside this file. But if you try to delete the third row, you'll not able to do that because I have not given you that permission. That write permission I didn't give you. So that's the reason.
Okay.
Okay. And if I have the first one would be your if this user and group. So the second one, if I change the user itself, if I change the user to some other name, for example, if I logged in my user through my credentials, I and try to open this, try to make some changes inside this file, I'll not able to because if you see the second one is having only R permissions. W permission is not given to this. And if somebody is the group owner, then if he tries to open this file and want to make changes, then also will not able to because the permission is not given to that person also. So only owner can read and write this file. But my requirement is I want you to do this. So for that, what I'll do is there's another thing by which I can change the permissions of this file. So for that we have chmod. Before that, I'll tell you some more things. Chmod is another thing. Control. So we have this option. R is having some of these values now. This RWX it's in character format, but some octal values are also given to this. I mean, for R we have two. Sorry, 1 second. RWX it is. So for R it is 4. Then for W it is 2. Then for X stands for execute. So this execute permissions, most of the time, whenever you want to delete up or like you want to copy this file or you want to run your shell script, in that at that point of time, this X permission is required. But whenever you want to make the changes inside file, W is the only permission which is required, and R is to view the file, to see the contents basically. And for no permission, suppose I don't want to give any permissions to a file. So for that, the octal value would be 0. There are two ways to change permissions. So first one is we can use operators, and second one we can use this octal values. So whenever you want to give permission, suppose for this file itself, if I want to give, if I want you to, like suppose you are the user, you have logged in this Unix through your ID, and I want you to edit this file. So for the second one, what I'll do is I'll give you the permissions, chmod. So this is the command. You need to type chmod, and after that you can use any method, operator or octal. First I'll use the octal method. So I'm giving you the permission. I want you to have read write permission. So for read write it would be 6. One more. See, for the combined permission, if you see now, like if I say what is the permission given to the owner, so you need to add all three numbers. It is 7. For the user also it is 7, and for the group also it is 7. This is the octal values, right?
Yes.
Shiva, till here it is clear now.
Yes.
What I'm doing is I'm adding these values, like for read it is 4, for write it is 2, and for X it is 1. So I'm adding these values. So it is 777. So user owner is having all the permissions, read, write, and execute, whereas user is also having the same permissions and group is also having the same permissions. But if you see this one, so for owner, we have only read and write. It means the value would be 6. For user, it's only 4. And for group is only 4. We have only read and write permissions for user and group. Now I want the user to have read and write permission. So for that, I'll give 6. And for group, I want no permissions. So I'll give 0. No, now after that, you need to type the file name to which you want to give the permissions. Now when you press enter and again see the permissions for this file, it has changed. Now owner is having RW permissions, user is also having RW permissions, and group is having no permissions. So that's why it is blank. Now uh, I want owner to have only read permissions, whereas I want user to have all the permissions, and group should have only read permission. So for that, what you will do is chmod I want to have only read permission, right? And user should have all the permissions, so it would be 7. And I want group to have only read permission. Now hit the file name, press enter, 7L, see the permissions now. And if you see here, user is having all the permissions and the color has changed from black to green. Because now user can execute this file, he can write this file, he or she can read this file as well. So user is having all the permissions now. Now I want to give like no permissions to this file. I want user to have no permissions, group to have no permissions, owner to have no permission. So it would be 0000. Now when I list this file, see the permissions for this file, nobody's have this permission to open this any questions till here, Shiva? Do you have any questions?
I am good till now, Akash.
Till now it's good. Okay. So this is the first method by which you can change the permission. There is another way also. Let's see the same file and try to change some permissions. So what I'll do is I want user to have read and write permission. So this one, the method which I just have shown you was the octal method by which you are giving some kind of values. Now the similar thing you can do it with uh, by giving the permissions itself. Like in the sense you can give the character rwx, you can add, remove, or update also. So for that, what you can do is I'll tell you some operator method. This one till here it is octal that I have told. Now in operator na, there are 3 operators that we can use. First one is the addition, second one is the subtraction, and third one is the equal sign, equal to sign. So now suppose if I want to give permission to one of the files and I want a user to have only read permission. So what I'll do is I'll put u plus r. U stands for user, R is the permission which I am giving. Then after that, you need to write the file name, whatever it is. Let's see this in the terminal. Chmod U plus R ls7l. So if you see, we have this permissions to the user. Now, if I want to give a similar type of permission to the owner, So instead of U, you can change it to O. Now I want to give the permissions to the user also. So for that, now when I use this ls-l, so all three.
G plus R
Hello?
means
Yeah, tell me, Shiva.
there is G plus R, right? So what is the meaning of G plus R? Chmod.
Sure, I'll tell you. See, 1 second. Let me go up. So basically, if you see the first one is the user. Let me get this U. Group G. Last one will be owner. Okay, so when I've used this command now, this one U plus R. So U means I'm giving the permissions for the first set of RWX, first set of first three characters. The first three characters stands for the user RWX. Okay, and the second three characters stands for group, and the third three characters stands for owner. So the first one, if I have given like U plus R, so what I'm doing is I'm adding read permission to the user. So if when I've given U plus R, so read permission has been added to the user, and when I've used this ls-l command, I can see this R. I want the similar type of conditions to be given. I mean the permissions to be given to the owner. So for that you need to use O plus R. O stands for owner, and I'm adding the read permission to the owner. So I've used plus operator.
So for
For the
owner,
third one,
for owner plus reader. So you are giving only read access, right?
only read access. Absolutely.
Okay.
As you are the admin, so if you want to remove the permissions, you can use hyphen in the sense use minus sign minus R. I'm removing the permissions from the group. So when I press escape ls-l, see, permissions has been removed. Group doesn't have this read permissions now.
Okay.
Correct. Now I want to give a user to have read write permission. So user, and I'm adding one more permission to the user. Earlier it has read permission. Now I want to give write permissions also to the user. So what I'll do is I'll use plus W. Plus stands for adding the write permission to the user, and this is the file name. Now when I press enter and see the permissions now, so user is having RW access now, read and write access. So suppose you want to give read and write permissions to edit to a particular user, and once it is done, you want to remove the write access after that. Once the file is edited completely, and you don't want to continue to give to have this write permission. So in that case, what you can do is after the file gets edited, you can remove this write permissions also. So instead of plus, you can use minus. So when I give this, now the write permissions has been removed from the user. Any doubt till here, Shiva?
So if we want to give read and write access means, I mean read, write, execute access means.
Read and execute. If you want to give two permissions, right? So what you can do is ls-l. So read and write permission has been given to this.
So if
If
we
you
if
want
we
to
want to add execute also means.
Execute for execute give X. Read you need to remove. This is not
Both,
required
both are
because
like
already.
read, write, and execute.
1 second, let me clear this. And let's remove all the permissions first and we'll see it again. I'll give 000 permissions to all. Okay. Now when I give this ls-l, so there's that. Now you tell like what kind of permissions you want to give to a user, owner, or group. I'll tell you how to give it.
Read, write, and execute
Read, write, and execute to which?
to that
Owner,
file.
group,
Owner.
to the owner you want to give. Okay. So there are two ways. Is either you can use the octal. The other method is the operator. If you want to give octal, then give 7, like 007. So that owner would have all the permissions D, write, and X. Now you want to. Now I'm using this operator method. Okay, and you said you want to give this permissions U RWX to. When I press enter, ls-l. So all the three permissions has been given to the owner.
So if I want to give for the owner and use owner and the group user, so what should I select here?
User and owner.
Yes, both.
You want to give user and owner in one go. You are saying
If yes, yes.
so. This is how you can give.
Okay, got it. Now I got it.
So if you, what I'll do is let me remove all the permissions first. So for that, give minus. CLS, 1 second. See. So now no permission has been given. And if I want to give all the three set to the permissions I want to have for all the three RWX. So what you can do is you can use UGO and the file name. File name is incorrect. Let me remove the extra characters. Press enter. ls-l. See, this is how you can give. So I've shown you two ways. One is the operator method and second one is the octal method. One
Okay,
more operator is, yeah, tell me.
I understood both. Yes.
You understood both. Okay. One operator also, this equal to operator is also there. So let me tell you that one also. So if I want to give only read permissions to UG and O, user, owner, and group. So what you can do is use equal to, only equal to. Let me show you the permissions first. You see this, we have RRR permissions. Let me remove everything, then I'll show it to you more time. Okay, 777. So then we'll have all the permissions. So suppose if you want to give only read permissions to owner, group, and user, so what you can do is you can, instead of like subtracting each and every permission, you can directly use this equal to sign. Every other permissions will get removed, and the user, group, and owner would have only read permissions now. So this is the usage of the equal to operator in chmod. Now suppose I want to give the right permission. So what I can do is instead of R, I'll put W. So read one will get removed and we'll have only W permissions. Now if I want to give W and X, so this is another way of giving two permissions in one go to all three using the equal to operator. Any doubts till here, Shiva? Anything?
No, Akash, I'm good till now.
It's clear now? Okay, okay, great. Now we'll see the arithmetic operator. So like from now we'll see the operators and all. So first one is the arithmetic operation, and there are other ways also. That one I'll tell you in the later on sessions. But for now, I'm using expr command. Okay. So whenever you are using this expr command, so you need to give the operator basically. First, one second, operands. Let me put it in the page. It will be fine. So expr usage. So whenever you're using this expr command, you need to give the operands first, then operator, and again the operands. The last one is optional. This one you'll understand when I'll teach you the file operators. That you'll understand. We don't want two operands. We can have only one operand also. We'll see in the later on sessions. And whenever you're using this expr command, this gap is required. One space is required between this command and the operands, and space is required between operator and the operands. Similarly with the other operand and the operands. So we'll see some basic things: addition, subtraction, multiplication, modulus also you can see mod, and division. Before going into this, I'll tell you one more thing which is most important. Are you aware of the escape characters?
No.
Okay. So okay. So this asterisk, ampersand, pipe symbol, and there are many other BG also it is there. Then we have this calendar. These are the commands basically. So these literals have some special meanings, in the sense it has some reserved meanings. So we cannot use those things directly. Like for example, suppose if I am doing some addition operation, then it would be like 1 plus 2, right? So this is direct, right? And plus is in Unix, plus is only it means only the addition. Whether you are using any operator in chmod, there also we are adding the permissions, right? So we were using plus symbol. Similarly, for subtraction, we have this thing -2. So this minus is here, like in Unix, it defines only the subtraction part. Multiplication, we have this asterisk. Asterisk means one, like there are two meanings basically. One is we can use it for multiplication, for multiply, and second one, it means one or it could be zero or more occurrences, zero or more occurrences. Mod, this is a symbol, and for division we have the slash. So whenever any operator or any command is having one or more meaning. So in that case, we cannot use it directly. So we need some escape characters so that interpreter will get to know that whatever is the immediate operator or command is coming. So it has some other meaning. So neglect that meaning and use it in the another format. For example, whenever I want to multiply these two numbers, 2 and 3. So for that, I need to use one escape character because this asterisk sign is having two meanings. One is the multiply and second one is the occurrences, one or more occurrences. So I need to use this escape character. This is the escape character, this slash. This is the same slash. If you see it here, when I use second, this called hand, I think so. 1 second, there's a question. Unix 3. Okay. If you see this slash and this slash, these two are different ones. This is the root, whereas this one is used for, basically this is one. This one is for the division, and this one, the other slash, is used for escape characters. So now I'll tell you how to use. So is this clear? Escape characters?
So please once again repeat the escape characteristics.
Yeah, sure. Let me remove everything. So basically, whenever any operator or any command is having some special meaning, it means this star represents some other meaning also, or this ampersand means something else. Then in that case, what we need to do is we need to tell the interpreter that this is like treat this variable, these variable or any command or any operator, treat those things in a different manner. Don't treat it like whatever is the reserved meaning. Like for example, if I want to multiply, I'll give you some more examples. It will be
Yeah.
more clear to you after this thing.
Yes, Akash. I'm good with multiple subtraction, adding, addition. So all of this.
Okay, great. I'll tell you some more examples. It will be more clear when I give you two examples of asterisk. Okay, so first one, I think my screen is not visible. It's visible.
It's visible, Akash. So now
So
you open.
whatever. So like what all you can see in my screen?
I can able to see only the position, like
Can you see this thing? PWD.
no, I can't able to see.
Okay, let me reshare my screen. Something has happened, I think, maybe because of the bad network.
Yes, now I can able to see.
Now you can able to know. Okay, let's see the content inside this file. We have this file day3. Okay, let's create another file day2. Oh, see, I cannot uh, I cannot create the copy of this file because this file is having read permissions itself, right? So I cannot do that. So what I need to do is, first of all, I need to change the permissions. In the second, let's see the permissions. So we have only read the permissions. So what I'll do is I'll get the read permissions also. So let's type 777 5533. Okay. Now let me copy this file. to day2.txt. I'll create another set of file having this day1. Let's create one more file with 0. Okay, let's see the contents. So we have these many files. Let's clear this window. ls-l. Okay, so I'm having these 4 files available inside this directory day3. Okay, now I want to see okay, let me create some other files also so that it will be clear to you. Day1, let's change the name to day0.txt. day1.txt. Now I'm having ls-l. So I'm having 5 files in total. The naming convention of the files are like the first file is day, starts with D, then other files starts with F. File1, file underscore day1, day0, day2, day3, and one file is day0.txt. Now I want to access only day, whatever starts with day. I want to access only those files. Let's create another file also, day1. So now I'm having 6 files. I'll create another file, 2. Now I'm having 7 files. Let's clear the screen. ls-l. So I'm having these files now, these many files. Now I want to access only day file. Whatever starts with day, I want to access only those files. Okay. So for that, I want to see the permissions of those files. So what I'll do is I'll use ls command. Then I want to see the long listing. Then give day. Then give star. So I can see only 3 files now because this star is treating it as 0 or 1 occurrences. Okay. So whatever comes after this will be I'm using this star for all the characters which is coming after this day. Could be 0, 1, 2.txt, 1.txt or 0.txt. Now I want to access, I want to see the permissions of file. Only the file names which starts with only file. So what I'll do is I'll put a file star. So I'll get the output which I give is only the file names, starts with file. Okay, now this asterisk, this asterisk I'm using for to see the long listing of the day and the file names. Now I want to use asterisk for the multiplication also, but asterisk is having this like to search uh, like these kind of characters day, then after that star, one or more occurrences. So this star is having some special meaning which is stored in Unix interpreter. Now when I use asterisk for multiplication, when I use like this expr 2 into 3, so what interpreter like interprets is close the recording. Yeah. So second, I have started the recording now.
Yes.
Recording is going on. Yeah, it's going on. Okay. So if yeah, when I press enter, so it will give syntax error because this asterisk is having some other meaning also. Now I need to escape this meaning. So for that I'll put this, and when I give this, I'm escaping the meaning of the star, and I want to treat it as in a different manner, in the alternate manner. So I'm using this escape characters so that the special meaning will get suppressed, and the other meaning because this asterisk is having two meanings. One is to search one or more occurrences, and second one is for the multiply. Now it is treating this asterisk in another manner, like it is using for the multiplication purpose, not for to search one or more occurrences.
Is it
So for
forward
text,
slash or backward slash?
this one,
Yes.
I think it's I think it's the backward slash. I always gets confused between these two slashes, whether it's backward or forward. I think it's a backward slash.
Okay.
Okay. So this is how you like in future also, whenever you write any shell scripting or any, there are many commands where we have to use this escape characters, because what happens is if you use it directly na, that Unix interpreter will interpret in a different manner. It will think that it's a we are using this asterisk or ampersand or any pipe symbol in use it in a the meaning which is already stored, but we want to, if we want to use it in a different manner, in that case you need to use this escape character, which is the backslash. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see some examples for expr. Let's try to add two numbers. Share this. Here. Now I want to add two numbers using expr command. So you need to, first of all, you need to type the expr command, then the operand. I want to add two. You need to give the space also. This is, if you write it like this now, you will get an error. You will get syntax error. Okay, so you need to give space after operator, like in between command and the operator. Then again you need to give the space. Only one space is sufficient. F5. Now when I press enter, I'll get 7. Now I want to use subtract operator. So 5, then minus 3 will get the direct output. Now I want to divide these two numbers. We'll get 2. Now I'm using modulus function, so I'll get 0. You know how this modulus function works? Mod function.
Mode.
Basically, it gives you the remainder. Remainder. Like for the whenever you are using this division, na, this is the perfect exact divisible. 4, if you divide 4 divided by 2, you'll get 2, right? And the remainder is 0. If I divide 5 divided by 2, I'll get remainder as 1. If I'm using this symbol 2 and 5, I'll get remainder as 2. Okay. Now let's use this division function. I think divide I've already used. Yeah. So this thing concludes to the all the arithmetic operators. Okay. Now the next one is the Boolean operator. So we have two Boolean operators. One is your this pipe symbol. 1 second. Boolean operators. So we have two things. One is your pipe symbol. And another one is the ampersand. And these two operators is having some special meaning also. We mostly use in commands. Pipe symbol abc.txt, and if I want to redirect this output of cat as an input to the other command, So I can use this pipe symbol between, right? And ampersand is mostly used whenever you want to execute any command in the background. So for that purpose, we'll use this ampersand symbol. Those two things I'll tell you later on, later sessions. But why I'm giving you these kind of things now, because it has another meaning also, right? This pipe symbol and ampersand. So for that, you need to use this escape characters whenever you're using this commands with the XPR function. Okay. Now I'll tell you the usage and what will be the output when you use these kind of commands. So when you use this expr5, first of all, you cannot use it directly. You need to give this escape character. So here what I'm doing is I'm using this Boolean operator, which is bitwise. So the output of this is whenever you use this now, one, then pipe symbol, then two. So if it is zero or null, in the sense, this will give you, hello, Shiva, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Akash.
Okay, let me put value one, value two. This is value one, this is value two. So what happens is whenever we use this now, so it returns value one if value one is neither null or nor zero. Otherwise, it will return value two. In the sense, let's give some, let me give some example. If I'm using, let's say zero and this, so the output would be, so it will return only value one. Value one will be returned if if these two things, not this one, sorry, one and two, if any of these is neither null or nor zero. Otherwise, it will return value two. So in this example, I have given zero, so it will return only five, not one. And in the first example, if it is not null, the first value, if it is not null, put it here, value one. In this example, if you see the first value, this one, its value one is neither null nor zero, right? So you'll get this output one, value one will get returned. But in the second example, if value one is zero or null, null in the sense nothing has been given here. So if this is the case, you'll get five. In the sense you'll get only value two. But if it is the first value is zero, then in that case you'll get value two. If value one is not zero, is non-zero, in that case you'll get the value one. EXPR 1, comma 2. See, if I press enter now, I'll get syntax error. Bash command not found because I cannot use this directly. So for that, I need to use this. Now when I press enter, I'm getting this value EXPR. Let me put some other values. Let me put 90, 90. I'll get 90, 90 because the value one represents this value 1 or 90, 90. Value two represents 2 and 2 here. Okay, so if the first value is 0, then you'll get value 2. If the first value is not 0, then the first value will get returned. Now let me put 0 here. I'll get 2. I'm changing this value to 556. I'll get 556. This bitwise is clear to you, Shiva?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
we'll get value 1 result when if the first value is non-zero. If it is 0, then we'll get the value 2.
Yes, Akash, I'm clear.
Okay, similarly, we'll have this ampersand symbol. So ampersand symbol, once again, whenever you use this ampersand, so if any of the value is 0, then it will return 0. If I use this 0, see, if any of the value is 0, then you will get 0. Okay, otherwise it will give you the first value, value 1. Okay, these kind of things also you'll come across whenever we write shell scripts. In those, some scenarios are there where we want only the file name 1, like whenever we use this that's the use case of these kind of operators would be um, mostly in the file types. When the directory does not exist, if it is null, then that kind of scenarios we'll go for this ampersand and this pipe symbol. There is not much usage, but just for the sake of covering all the operators, I've given you this Boolean operators overview also.
Okay.
Okay, then comes the relational and the comparison operators. Basically, relational and comparison both are same. We put in this page first. Page. Relational or comparison. So relational, basically we have this less than, greater than, less than symbol, greater than symbol. Then we'll have equal to symbol. We'll have not symbol, exclamatory, it stands for not. Then we'll have something called this greater than equal to. Then we'll have less than equal to. So here basically what we are doing is we are comparing two operators, two operands, and for that we have these many operators. Now I'll give you some examples. This is Acha, whenever we are using this XPR, na, if the output is right, in the sense if the output is true, if the expression evaluate is true, it will give you 1, else it will give you 0. Only for EXPR I am saying. Okay. So whenever you're using EXPR command, if the output is true, if the expression which you are giving after EXPR evaluate as true, it will on the screen you will get 0 or 1 values. 1 represents true and 0 represents false. But in Unix, you'll see some exit codes and all. So those would be little different. So it would be like 0 stands for true and 1 stands for false. But whenever we are using this EXPR, so we'll get these kind of bit values, 0 and 1. Only these two values we will get. So
Okay.
suppose if I'm comparing 2 and 3, so this is false, right? So you will get 0 or 1. What value you will get?
0.
Right. So if I just change this to less than, then what it would be?
1.
Correct. Now I'm using 2 equal to 3. What would be the result for this?
0.
0. Correct. I'm using not equal to 3. What would be the result for this?
1.
Correct. Now I'm using 2 greater than equal to 3. Let's put this way. What would be the output of this? 0 or 1?
greater than or equal to 1.
1, absolutely. Now, if I'm using this, what would be the output of this?
Less than or equal to 1.
Absolutely, right.
Any
Now,
one statement would be true.
correct, because here if you see I have given two operators. This is the combination I have given. So that's
Yes.
why. Let me put everything in the terminal. Let's execute each and every command here. Clear the screen first using expr. Then let's take one. If you see, I'm always giving one space between operator and the command. Okay, now when I press enter, can think it has some special meaning, I believe, because this operator is having some special meaning. Do you remember whenever I think I had even given no, I think cat command I have told so whenever we use this cat command, I use this operator, remember, exp.
Yes.
So this is the other operator actually. Basically, this was the operator which I have used. This one is for the this one operator, this less than operator is also used for the redirection purpose also, and this one is for the indirection. Whenever we use this is for indirection, and this one represents the redirection. So we cannot use these operators directly, correct?
Yes.
So what you will do, how you will overcome this situation, this kind of situation, what you will do in this case? I think something I've told remember?
There must be one. We need to add one more column.
No, if
Like
I want to use this symbol in expr to compare these two operands, but I cannot use it directly because it has some special meaning. So how to overcome these kind of situations?
we should add pipeline.
Pipeline or slash escape character?
Yes,
Remember?
yes, yes.
Yes, escape character.
Backward
Correct?
slash. Yes.
Yes. Now, uh, let's see this example. What would be the output for this? 0 or 1?
1 is less greater than 2. 0.
Absolutely. Let me put it this way, equal to, what would the output for this?
1 is greater than or equal to 2. 0.
0. What would be the output for this?
2 less greater than or equal to 2 is 1.
Is 1. Absolutely. Now, if I change the operator to this, what will be the output for this?
2 less than or equal to it is 1.
Okay. Now, what would be the output for this one? Not equal to 0.
2 not equal to it is 0.
Correct. So now when I use this, what would be the output for this?
2 equal to 2 it is 1.
Absolutely. So this is, I think this one is clear to you, relational and comparison operators. Okay. So Shiva, so we'll like till here we'll see the other operators in the next session. Okay.
Okay.
So let's end up this call. So do you have any doubts or anything, any clarifications required, whatever we have done it today? I think I think Boolean is the only thing which is a little complicated to you. But other than that, arithmetic and relational is the good ones. I think you're good with that.
Yes. Yes, Akash. The rest of things are good for me.
Yeah, tell me.
The rest of all good for me, no doubts till.
Okay, only the Boolean part is not much clear to you. Okay, what I'll do is I'll share you the recording and the slides, whatever I have done, and I'll take the history of all these commands, whatever I have used today. I'll take the history and I'll give it to you. Okay, then what you can do is just go through it once. If anything or any doubt, any clarification is required, we can see in the next session, whatever it is. No problem,
Okay,
we can give spend like 10 to 15 minutes in like from the beginning in the class. Then we'll continue with the rest of the session after that.
sure, Akash.
Okay, but please go through it once because it's very important. Because whenever you write the shell scripting and all, there's much usage of the operators, arithmetic and basically the relational ones. Boolean is not much used, but the rest of those two, na, you'll see like in most of the scenarios, you will see those kind of operators. Whenever you want to use the counter things and index, or whenever we'll see the loops, na. So those kind of operators is the much used operators. So that's why I'm saying just go through it once thoroughly. And if you have any doubts, ask me tomorrow.
Yes, Akash, sure.